Jackeline here. In today's video, I'm super excited because finally my Pat McGrath order of the Mothership #8 Divine Rose #2 arrived. Yes, it arrived today and I'm super excited because I'm gonna give you my first impressions, my review, these eye looks, swatches, comparison. I mean, we're gonna dive in deep on this beauty right here. I was super excited that I was able to get my hands on it because we know how it is ordering from Pat McGrath website. I will have to say, I will have to honor these to Pat McGrath, and I want to say it very clearly. Actually, it was late December that she launched her Star Wars collaboration, and it was very chaotic and I was very frustrated, as many of you, and I expressed it very clearly, and I was very angry on one of the Instagram posts of Pat McGrath. And I will have to say that Pat McGrath, she really takes her business seriously and personal. She actually reached out to me on an Instagram message and she made sure that addressed my concern and she helped me out. I remember it was December 26th that she messaged me, and I was actually traveling to Peru that same day, and she told me, I will get you a link that you will be able to get the palette that you want. And I know that she did it for a few people. I don't know exactly what was the mechanics or the logistics behind it. I remember my airplane landed, and as soon as I got internet connection, I opened it up and she was like, do you receive the link? And I'm like, not yet. And then after that, shortly after, I mean, it happened like after 2 hours, I received my link, and I remember purchasing my palette, the limited edition Star Wars palette, while I was in Peru, and I'm so appreciative of that. And I think she's just learning along the way, her staff, her team. I mean, after that, I felt like more confident to actually order from her website, and I have done so a couple times on the different sales. I have even grabbed like a lipstick here and something else here, like I think it was for concealer afterwards, and I haven't had any like big issues. I know some people had some issues ordering this palette right here because it was, I mean, like everybody was trying to get this. Is actually, I was able to get the one, the rose gold packaging, so the limited edition one, but I know it was tough. I know they sold out pretty fast. I know also that people who order and they were international clients, their orders were canceled, and then I guess that's why after all those cancellations of the international orders, people from United States, we were able to place a second order. I know they are still working on it, but I will have to say that I'm so happy that I got it, and I'm so happy to be here to give you all the details about this palette. And if you're new here, I want to thank you so much for your time, for stopping by, and I hope that you would like to subscribe to my channel, become part of this family. Do not forget to ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And you know what, while you're at it, also come and follow me on my Instagram. Let's grow our family there as well. And yeah, let's dive into this beauty right here. I mean, roses to me are just so special. I just want to give you this little story right here, tiny story that I think I have never shared with you. But before I got married with my husband and we were dating, there was a period of time, exactly 60 days, that I had to travel, and those 60 days I wasn't able to see my husband in person. And when we were dating, every single day since the day that I met him, he will bring me a rose every day. Now, you know that I work here in the wedding industry. I'm very close by, maybe 15 miles from here. We have a big wholesaler of roses in the area, and they grow the roses here on the area that I live. And when I came back from that trip, for that 60-day trip, I found my house with 60 roses, and each of the roses, they were each of them different color. My husband actually went to the field and pick each rose and make sure that each rose was not identical to each other. That's how special are roses to me. So without making it any longer, I'm gonna bring you close over here and start showing you the details of this palette and this look. Let's get started. I really want to show you the Unicard. It's basically very alike to Mothership VIII as well as Midnight Sun. The main difference right here is that they have converted a little bit with these designs of the flowers, the roses, the pink tones. I mean, it's just nonetheless beautiful. This is all a work of art. I will never throw away these packages right here. Never, ever, ever. They are just too beautiful. And you know what? I actually have here the Unicard for Divine Rose #1. And I mean, they are both beautiful, unique, and very much they talk about what you're supposed to be expecting on each of the palettes. I was very lucky to get the limited edition rose gold packaging, and this is the metallic one. Oh, it's just so glorious. And right here it has the logo of Pat McGrath. On the back though, this plate right here has remained gold. Let's just open it up. By the way, the palette is made in Italy. It's very weighty. It's just, I mean, you feel luxury right here at its best. The palette also has this embedded type of mirror that is just, I mean, the same one as her other Mothership palettes. And here is the actual protector. Let's take it out. The palette comes with 2 matte shades, and then these shades right here, they seem to be kind of like satin type of shades. We will see when we swatch them. And then these 4 at the end, they are her special shades. And we have a very amazing special shade right here that I'm sure you have been seeing it as I have been trying to turn it so you can better, you know, appreciate. This is it's actually, she's not naming it a duochrome or a multi-chrome, but actually a trichrome, which is fairly interesting. I mean, I have seen like a dark green, a limey green, then a pink, and even to a point kind of like, you know, more like pink purpley tone. It's very, very interesting. I'm just so excited about this. Okay, let's go ahead and start swatching these babies. Skin Show Opal, incandescent champagne with opalescent shift. Naked Blush, a mid-tone coral matte. Eleganza, chromatic plum pink. Bronze Rosé 005, metallic copper rose. Gold Lass 001, glistening antique gold. Extreme Burgundy, deepened burgundy matte. Divine Dusk, luminous rose bronze. Rose Seduction, a vivid magenta satin. VR's Extraterrestrial, fuchsia, golden peach, and chartreuse triochrome. I think right there you can see some of the peach. Astral Pink Moon, glittering peach champagne. Okay, my friends, so one of you asked me to see the swatches in natural light, and here it is in natural light. These are all the swatches. You can see Extraterrestrial right there. Scott Barnes number 62 brush and the shade Naked Blush. And I'm just gonna apply it above the crease. This has a lot of pigment, lots of it. Sonia G Builder Pro in the shade Rose Seduction. In this shade, I'm gonna apply it on my mobile lid. Sonia G Mini Booster and Extreme Burgundy. I'm gonna apply the shade on my outer V. Smith 253 brush, Gold Last 001. And I'm just gonna put it right here on, kind of like on the middle of my eyelid. And with whatever is remaining, I'm just tapping over Extreme Burgundy. Sonia G Flat Definer and VR Extraterrestrial. And for this shade, I'm gonna go ahead and wet it. I didn't know, but these MAC Fix Plus smell like roses. I'm like, wait a second, I smell roses. Okay, now we're all in theme. Okay, and what I want to do with this shade is actually create kind of like a wing line. I'm gonna do a wing right here too. BK Beauty 204 and the shade Naked Blush. I'm gonna take it on my lower lash line. Going back to VR Extraterrestrial, same Sonia G Flat Definer. Refer 03 brush and the shade Skin Show Rose Opal. And I'm gonna use that for my brow bone. Astral Pink Moon. And that shade, I'm gonna apply it on my inner corner. I'm done with my eye look, and everything else that I have used on my eyes, I mean, you know, like on my waterline, my lashes, and all that jazz, I will be leaving it on the description down below, as well as everything that is on my face right now. But I want to get more use out of this beautiful Artistry palette, and there's a couple shades right here that I can use it as a blush. One of them is this right here, Naked Blush, and these one right here too, Rose Seduction. So I don't know about the Rose Seduction, but you know, I will try, why not. First, I'm gonna start though with the Naked Blush, and I'm gonna use my Sonia G Soft Cheek. This shade has a lot of pigment, so if you want to use it as a blush, just tap it lightly. Okay, and then I'm going to use this shade, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just tap it very, very lightly, and I'm just going to take it a little bit on, actually right on the bones. I'm gonna go into Skin Show Rose Opal, and I'm gonna use it as my highlighter with the Sonia G Mini Cheek. This collection came with 2 lip trios that included a lip liner, a lip gloss, and a lipstick. All of them, they are existing on the line of Pat McGrath. I went ahead and purchased one. I didn't purchase a lip trio, actually. I just chose the shades that I didn't have. I chose, I think, Soft Core for the lipstick, and then one of the lip liner, or 2 of the lip liners, and then one of the lip gloss, the peach one, but they haven't arrived yet. But I do have 2 of the shades that they are included on this collection, and one is Christy as a lipstick, as well as the lip gloss in Divine Rose. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this couple right here. Look, I want to go ahead and jump into comparisons. Divine Rose number 2 is right here, and I want to swatch this shade right here as well as this shade, and I want to compare it. I know this is not, I mean, this is basically a duochrome, but I want to compare it with this shade and then also this shade right here, Lime Rose. Okay, let's go for this shade Eleganza. And this is a very beautiful kind of like cool tone, and I'm sure you're gonna be wondering, I mean, from Divine Rose 1, let's go for this shade, and yeah, they are, I think Divine Rose 1 and Divine Rose 2, they are just, you know, complementary to each other basically. This is Ritualistic Rose. So I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, even these two shades right here, they are very different. This is a lot more of like an antique gold, and this is a very subtle gold. So yeah. This is also duochrome, but not the same as these. I mean, I can show it to you, but yeah, there you go. One has more purple, the other one has more green. Now, I also have these single eyeshadows. I know there's a Luxie one that is very similar to this one. I tried to purchase it, but it was out of stock. These ones are from Sydney Grace. This is a duochrome, and we know that indie brands were the pioneers on these duochromes. This one is called Twisted Shifter. Yeah, Twisted Shifter by Sydney Grace, and it's this shade over here. And then let's swatch Divine Rose. So there you go. These, I think they are the closest thing that I could find. Sydney Grace on the top, and then on the bottom is the one from Divine Rose 2. Okay, if you have been following me for any amount of time, you know that my favorite palette from Pat McGrath is Divine Rose #1. And I mean, I say it, I mean, kind of lightly in a way, because all the Mothership palettes from Pat McGrath, they are amazing. They are all one of a kind. They are unique. They talk so much about Pat McGrath and her artistry that, I mean, they are just, each of them, a work of art. And this right here is the same thing, is a work of art. But let me just compare them side by side. So this is Divine Rose #1, and this is more muted, kind of like cooler tone. But to me, it is an eyeshadow palette that I think is very elegant, very wearable. And that's perhaps why it became kind of like my favorite eyeshadow palette, is because I find it like, okay, I can use these over and over again every day, morning, evening, without having to feel like, okay, I'm always gonna have this kind of like very edgy party type of look. Now, if you compare these and these, obviously, I mean, the comparison, it's obvious right here. This is kind of like your, you know, oh, look at this. These are magnetic. they don't want to separate. It's super good. Okay, this is super cool. Okay. Alright, so this one right here is kind of like your vivid image, and this is kind of like your negative image. That's basically what it is. So if I like this palette, absolutely. This is just divine, as the name says it. It's just so beautiful. It's vibrant. And you know what it makes it vibrant is really these kind of like hot pink shade, because if you just take it off out of the palette, I mean, it becomes very wearable. I mean, like, I know this shade right here is kind of like, oh wow, that's a multi-chrome. This has so many, you know, colors in it. But with that, you can achieve a very nice smoky eye look that is very, very different. But then all the other shades, I mean, you have a bronze, you have your kind of yellow gold, you have this kind of champagne shade. This right here is a very interesting shade too. It does have a flip with peach tone in it. This peach shade, I mean, it's just so simple, and you have here a combination between warmer tones, a few cooler tones as well, so you don't have to go bold with this shade. You can just make it very simple. Use this quad right here, use these shades right here on this section. I mean, do a pop of color right here. Now, a very important thing that I want to note right here is that this palette is called an artistry palette because there's a shade right here that is not meant to be used on the immediate eye area, and it says it on the Unicard. Is this shade right over here, this pink shade, because it's a pressed pigment, and pressed pigments, what they do is, one, they can irritate your eyelids. I mean, it's not very common, but it can happen to you. I do have sensitive skin, and I don't feel any discomfort using it right now. Another thing too is that it can stain your eyelids, not forever. I mean, it's just, you know, maybe for 1-2 days, something like that, and then it will just go away. But It's something very important to note. I mean, I don't find any trouble. Plus, this pressed pigment, I find it very interesting because it's not your common matte shade that it just have so much pigment in it. It actually is very emollient. It does have emollients in it. I can tell that because it's kind of like a satin shade, so it's very smooth. So I don't feel that it's gonna cause, I mean, I cannot guarantee that everybody is gonna find like themselves okay with that and nobody's gonna, you know, have an allergic reaction. But what I'm saying is like, it's not your typical, you know, like, I think you know what I mean. Those really matte heavy shades that they can even sometimes look a little bit chalky because of how much pigment they have. This is nothing like that. In fact, this palette right here only has these two matte shades over here, and that's it. Another thing to note is, I mean, these two are metallic shades. This is a flip of metallic shade. Now, this shade right here is one of our glitter shades, and they are very finely milled. But nonetheless, glitter are glitters, and I will highly suggest to use maybe a glitter glue if you want to use this shade right here. It's not that you really need it. You will find fallout. It's the normal thing about it. I'm just kind of like preventing you, and you know, just to be safe than sorry. With any glitter, you may want to use a glitter glue. And another thing that I want to point out is Pat McGrath is well known by using her fingers when she does her makeup looks. And you know, don't be afraid to use your fingers. I know some people are like, no, I'm not putting my fingers on my makeup, and you know, like it's okay. That's the way that you will find the most intensity on this shade. I mean, pretty much all the shades with the exception of the mattes is by using your fingers. That's another thing. Or otherwise you can do what I did today on my demonstration. Just use your brush and then just wet it. I mean, and overall the palette is actually very inspiring. It kind of like, I mean, it really talks about the rose, from the petals, even the sun, the pollen, everything, even to this multi-chrome shade right here. It just talks about the stem of the rose, the leaves of the rose. I mean, like everything is very cohesive, and I really love that part of the design. If you're new here to my channel, I do have a series called Creating My Own Palette from X brand, and basically what we do is we rearrange the existing shades from, say, certain brand. And the first episode of that series was actually creating an eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath using, again, existing shades. And my eyeshadow palette was, I don't want to say identical to these because it's not. I will put it right here. It was a very warm tone palette because I felt that it was something that I wanted it to have on my collection, something that it was a little bit more warm. Also, you know, coming into summertime, I wanted a little bit of more like, you know, like those very intense kind of looks. And when I saw this palette right here coming, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I love it. And I love that part, the creativity, the inspiration. What was the inspiration from this? And it's the rose, and I think she really achieved it. If there's something that perhaps I will change, I don't think anything. Honestly, anything. I mean, perhaps this shade right here, I don't know. I mean, I would have loved to see, we already have a red tone in the Mothership VIII, but I don't know, maybe if it was a duochrome of between a red and a peach shade, I don't know, kind of like with, I don't know, kind of like that. Yeah, like a reddish peach. That would have been kind of like something very, very interesting. Also tying in this matte shade right here. But I mean, that's just, you know, creativity idea going on right here on my mind. But I think the palette itself is just divine as its name. And the last thing that I really wanted to talk about is this shade right here. Is that Gold Blast 001. And actually in 2015, Pat McGrath launched her first product, and it was this kit that had this shade right here. It was this shade right here in the pigment form, as well as a mixing medium. Also, it had a little spatula in it so you can mix it in. And even like the magazine People, they made an article like I think it was like 21 ways of using these like amazing pigment. And Pat McGrath talks about like how she was on the labs and she saw this pigment right here and how amazing and potent it was, and you know, like so incredible that she really wanted for that one to be her first product for her cosmetics line. And I mean, she had it. Right now they don't sell it anymore, but she brought it back right here, and I think that just makes it even more unique. I know that this palette, it seems like what it says on Sephora is that it's a limited edition palette, but I have seen on Pat McGrath's website that there's a waiting list, like a wish list for this palette, even the special limited edition packagings to the pink ones. So I don't know, I will be leaving all the links down below, so if you want to sign up, you know, perhaps it will come back. I mean, we have seen it, and I don't think Pat McGrath would like to prohibit us of this beauty. I'm sure she will want to sell more of these because they are, I mean, it is a gorgeous palette, absolutely gorgeous, and a fantastic quality too. And now, my friends, I would love to know your opinion about this palette. Have you purchased it? Is it on your wish list? What do you think about the color combination right here? I would love to know your opinion about this palette. What do you think about it? And while you're leaving your comment, I hope that you will consider and subscribe to my channel. Also, ring the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I have a lot of reviews right here, hauls, first impressions. Also, come and check my Instagram because right there I can keep you informed of what's new and upcoming on the beauty industry, as well as I give you close-up pictures of the products that I review right here, and we just keep connected and grow our family. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.